Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Chris with Flores Media. Today, I want to give you some tips for some better low light footage using any camera you have. Today, I'm using the Sony A6400 with this brand new lens that I just got. It's the Sony 18-105mm. Check these out. Tip number one, picture profile. You need to have the right picture profile. If you pick the wrong picture profile, if you stay in standard, you're gonna have too much contrast right out of the camera, and then your footage is gonna be really dark. So you need the right picture profile. I've done a video about my picture profile settings. Go watch it. I use Cine 2, and in that video, I go over a little bit of what I do to get the right exposure, right? But picture profile, pick the right one. I always recommend Cine 2 for everything, right? Tip number two, find you some lighting. Right here, I'm standing in front of a light post and it's giving me some pretty good light on my face. It's not too bright. The last shot might have been a little too bright, but this one's a little bit more dimmed down. So find you some lighting. Walk by a window, there's gonna be some kind of lighting. I just walked by a window and I saw a computer screen that was super bright. Just look for any kind of lighting that you might see. Any street lights, any lights hanging off any buildings, any signs are gonna give you some cool lighting, and it's gonna give you better footage for night, all right? So tip number two, look for some lighting. It's everywhere. Tip number three, don't be scared of ISO. I've got my ISO set to auto from 100 to 6400, and I've got my exposure comp set to +1 because I want to get a little bit more light in there. I'm not scared of ISO. Sony cameras handle ISO very well. It'll keep noise pretty down for the most part. It'll be still usable footage, and if it's really bad, you could always touch it up a little bit in post, right? So tip number three, don't be scared. Push that ISO. Tip number four, aperture. Play with your aperture, right? I got a darker, slower lens. This lens, the 18-105, goes to at the max to f4, so it's kind of slow. But any other lens, maybe like a Sigma 1.4, it'll get you a heck of more light than my lens does right now. But play with your aperture, right? Maybe you set your aperture a little bit higher. In these low light situations, bring it down. Yes, when you have your aperture a little bit higher, your lens, you're gonna find that sweet spot for your lens, which, pro tip, they usually say it's about 2 stops above your like widest aperture. But on these low light situations, just open it wide open. Your footage is still gonna look good. And you could always add some sharpening in post, right? Tip number four, play with that aperture. Tip number five, this one's gonna be controversial. Man, play with that shutter speed. People be saying that you have to stick to that 180 rule. No, you don't. Watch, let me play with my shutter speed. Right now my shutter speed is 1/50 because I am filming at 24 frames per second, but let me bring it down to 1/25, and then let you see if you can tell the difference in motion blur, right? So this is 1/50, let's change it up. All right, this is 1/25. Could you tell a difference? No. Play with that shutter speed. It'll get you more light when you really need it, right? All right, y'all, bonus tip. Tip number 6. Get you a light, man. Get you a little small portable light. I'm using my iPhone. Get you a little light. Then you can record at night all you want. I've got a cool light coming by Ulanzi pretty soon. I'll be reviewing that for the channel. It'll be really cool, but that was my bonus tip. Get you a little light, use your phone if that is your last thing that you have, all right? Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel. As you can see, I'm out here with the familia on this vlog. Please subscribe.
Okay, bye.
We're depending on your subscription.
Okay, bye.
Enjoy these tips.